as the music fades, that is my cue to start talking, is it not? Well, it is, obviously, because I am your host, Professor Paul Markle, and this is Student of the Gun Radio. If this is your first time, welcome. We promise to be gentle with you. Not too gentle, but just gentle enough. All right, folks, it is Thursday, the last public broadcast of the week, and I'm coming to the microphone with great trepidation because there's not enough duct tape in the world to keep my head together on some of the stories that I've got here.
There's not even enough Gorilla Tape.
I don't even know, but some days, I just feel like, you know what? I'm just going to go live on the side of a mountain. I'm going to sell everything I own. I'm going to go buy a one-room cabin on the side of a mountain somewhere, and I'm just going to go live there.
Yeah, but then you couldn't come to the Student of the Gun audience and give them what they need every day.
I don't know, dude. I tell you what.
Well, on a serious note.
On a serious note, Jared's going to give us a serious note.
Yeah,
go ahead, give me a serious note,
Here's
Crazy.
one serious note for you that I do appreciate everybody that sends us comments and emails and stuff in saying that... Oh, there goes my phone. You're welcome for that. If you guys have seen Big Hero 6, if you haven't, then you need to go watch it. It's actually a pretty good movie. But anyway, I appreciate all your guys' comments sent in through the emails and saying that basically that you really appreciate the way we've changed the format to suit you guys.
Do you appreciate that they appreciate you?
I appreciate the appreciation.
That's a lot of appreciation. That's almost too much appreciation. It's almost more than I can take. But, woo! All right. There was a little, whatever. I can never remember who the wrestler that says, woo!
Ric Flair.
Okay. A little Ric Flair for you there. But that's not the guy who, like, does the second.
No, that was...
Suck it! No, that's not the same person.
Bret Hart? No.
Anyway,
Man, I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. We'll get Zachary on the air, and he'll talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
All right, freaks. Some of you, well, probably most of you, but maybe not all of you, know that a couple of weeks ago, geez, it's been 2 weeks already? Maybe 3? It's been at least 2 weeks.
It's been about 2, I think.
It's been a couple of weeks since we did the story about the AAFP, the American Association of Family Practitioners. Family Practitioners. A group of doctors who've decided to make it their mission to make gun violence a healthcare issue. Because apparently there's not enough illness in the world that we need to have gun violence as a new illness.
I have a... when we talk about this in the grad program, I have an AAFP acronym that is only for the adult audience. So, all
right. Well, so as you may or may not know, hopefully you know by this time, but we're discussing that, and Jared just pops off with he says, I think we need to form an AAFU, an American Association of Firearms Users. Well, that just happened spontaneously. We didn't plan it, and then you folks out there went nuts, and that's okay. And one person in particular went more nuts than everybody else, and Jared's got him hanging out on the line right now. So, Jared, I'm going to go ahead and close my mouth, drink some coffee, and I'll let you take it for the rest here. Or not the whole show, but you know what I'm saying.
I can have my 15 minutes of fame.
You're allowed.
Am I allowed? Okay. Well, I'm also able.
Well, it's not your 15 seconds of fame. It's
I said minutes.
Oh.
I get more than 15 seconds. All right. You want me to mute your microphone? Can I do that?
You want to mute my microphone? Oh,
I thought you held your doll up.
No. You'll know when I do this. That's
okay. When you hold it up and shake it, tickle me ammo.
When I hold up tickle me ammo, you need to mute my microphone.
All right. Everybody is waiting now. They want to know what's going on with the AAFU, and I've got my buddy Jeremy over here. He was very proactive with the idea after we announced it, and he is now the HMFIC of AAFU, and he is holding on the line. Jeremy, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for being very proactive and calling in here, too. So I want to talk to Jeremy about what is going to be coming up in the future with AAFU, and we're going to kind of announce some stuff to you guys so you can have something to look forward to. Jeremy, what do we have coming out? I think tomorrow in the grad program we're going to announce a special T-shirt pre-order promo code for a discount, correct?
All right, first.
Correct.
First, you guys need to tell people where they need to go.
No, that's going to be later.
Oh, that's last?
Yep,
Okay.
that's going to be later.
All right.
So tomorrow we've got the grad program members are going to be given a special promo code to get a, 20% discount?
20% discount.
20% discount. They're going to be given a 20% discount on the pre-order of the AAFU shirts, and kind of give them an idea of the design of the shirts, Jeremy.
Basically, I kind of stole it from MASH. I grew up watching MASH as a kid, loved the show. But basically the front is basically just going to say AAFU in bold print. Underneath it will have the text of American Association of Firearms Users. And on the back it's going to have our slogan, which is because we don't need your permission. It's basically kind of what, the AAFU stands for. And that's the basics of the pre-shirt. We've got special limited edition shirts in the plans for the future, but that's going to be way further down the road from now.
And that's going to be exciting. I'm actually really excited about this project. Jeremy told me a little story about when we announced the AAFU on the radio. He spooked his little workers a little bit. Tell us that story, Jeremy.
Yeah, well, I was listening to you guys talk about the AAFP at work. I do what everybody should do, and I listen to Student of the Gun on loudspeakers, so everybody in the shop gets to listen what I'm listening to. Of course, I don't broadcast the grad program shows, but I heard you throw out the AAFU, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. I was like, this has got to happen. So I literally paused the episode that I was listening to, ran to the other side of the building back to our computer room, and went in and jumped in and started searching for available domain names that were associated with it. I snapped up the Facebook page, I snapped up the Twitter page, and everybody's like, what in the crap is going on? I was like, I can't talk right now, I'm busy. This is the greatest idea I've ever heard.
So what is the domain? Where do you go? What's the website for AAFU?
The domain name is American Association of FU.com.
Enunciation on the FU, correct?
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. And we've got Facebook, Twitter. What else do you have? Tell people how to get to the social sites. As
of right now, we're just on Facebook and Twitter. There's works to create a YouTube channel in the future as well as Pinterest. But right now you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/AAFU Nation. And you can follow us on Twitter at AAFU Nation as well.
And that's awesome. If you guys are listening, go do that. Get on your little Twitter or your Facebook and go follow AAFU Nation. They're going to have some pretty cool stuff coming up. I'll be helping in the background, but I'm not going to be a major player in this one. It was kind of funny because when we started getting emails and comments about the AAFU, that's kind of hard for me to say sometimes. I just want to say the FU part. But when we started getting emails and comments about that, I was thinking, man, this is another project that I have to do. I don't really have time. And then it was the day after that Jeremy sent an email, and he said, hey, I want to take this and run, but I want to make sure that you guys are cool with that, so how can we work together? And I was like, oh, thank the Lord. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. And what are you going to do? I see something here on the website on American Association of FU.com. It says weekly giveaway. Kind of give them an idea of what that's going to be.
Basically, what I've got ideas for the weekly giveaway is it's going to be different stuff. It's going to be something you will have to physically do, whether it's answer a question, take a challenge, something like that. It'll be different every week. But what that's going to be is that is going to be your chance to get some type of official AAFU merchandise or apparel that will never be for sale. The only way that you'll be able to get your hands on it is by participating in the weekly giveaways. New giveaways will be posted each Sunday, and the winner of that week's contest will be announced the following Saturday.
So you've got a whole 6 days, 7 days almost to do that, to do whatever task he gives you to do. And correct. I set up an email list for the AAFU. Obviously, we're going to push out the weekly giveaways to the email subscribers so they know exactly what they have to do. And if you want to be on the front line, of knowing what you need to do, then sign up for the email subscriber list there. If you go to the American Association of FU.com, on the front page there's a little picture that says click here to subscribe. Do that and give us your name and your email address, and it asks for your state too. That's for administrative purposes. Give us that information and we will keep you updated with the weekly giveaways and maybe even some special products. I don't know. You never know what we're going to pull out of our butts.
Can you say
That's where this came from.
Yeah, I can say that. I just did.
Is my microphone turned down?
No.
Oh, okay.
Your headphones are.
Oh, okay.
He's got brand new headphones over there, so he's taking a little while to get adjusted to them. All right. What else do we want to talk about the AAFU here? We talked about the weekly giveaways. We talked about the website. We talked about the social media pages. Is there anything else that you want to say about it?
I mean, there's kind of a lot I have planned for the future. I mean, obviously, I want to be perceptive to the audience. I mean, I'd kind of like to keep this in the spirit of the way it was born. I mean, it was born on the fly out of your show, and it was basically risen up by, me, just an audience member. So I'd kind of like to, keep that tradition kind of going and, get a lot of feedback from you guys as where you want this to go and what you want to see out of the AAFU. I've got a lot of ideas for different products coming in the future. I mean, I want to put out hats and patches and coffee cups and all that stuff. But, I mean, I want to put out what you want. If there's something that you guys want specifically, you can email me at jeremy@americanassociationoffu.com and, tell me what you want out of AAFU. I mean, this was an idea that basically came to life out of the Student of the Gun audience. So I'd kind of like to, keep that as the background. Or
I know what I want.
What do you want?
I want a China mug with the eagle logo on it, and then I want the adult phrasage on the back.
Yeah, there you go.
I want the eagle on the front, and then I want
and you can have a middle finger on the bottom.
The adult usage on the back, and that's what I want to set on my on my table every day.
That's funny.
So there you go. Put that on the list of things.
It's on the list. Yeah, we will have a special big boy versions of AAFU products for Student of the Gun grad program members. So
it's always good to be a
sure
grad
you
program
keep your ears
member.
out on that.
If you're not, shame on you. You need to fix yourself. But it's easy.
It is easy to fix yourself.
It is easy to fix yourself.
You can go to studentofthegunradio.com, click on the little grad program banner there, and it even pops up on the same page. I don't know how it could be any easier than that, other than a one click.
If we could if we came to your house and poked and moved the mouse on your computer for you,
right?
That's the only way that it could possibly be easier.
Yeah. So go do that, and we've got a lot of good stuff coming up in the future for the grad program members. But I had another question here. Oh, where do you want to? Okay, everybody that's listening to my voice, you can get everything AAFU from American Association of FU.com. You can get to the Facebook page, you can get to the Twitter page. And Jeremy, where do you want people to post their ideas on the Facebook page or the Twitter page or both, and email you, or what do you want to do?
Actually, let's just do it on Facebook or Twitter. Let's keep it open so everybody can see everybody's ideas, and then everybody can brainstorm together, so to speak. I mean, if you have something super secret ninja you don't want to give away, you can email me. But let's just post it on Facebook and Twitter, and keep it open so everybody can see it.
Cool. That sounds like a good idea. So that's facebook.com/AAFU Nation or at AAFU Nation on Twitter. Go leave your suggestions. And I think that's pretty much all we've got for the American Association of FU. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, Jeremy?
If anybody wants to, basically give me your ideas in person, or, just wants to meet up and says, hey, good idea, or good on you for stepping up to the plate or whatever. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I will be at the NRA meeting in Nashville next month. So keep a lookout.
Yeah, we'll be there as well. So.
Yeah, I wanted to say that we're looking forward to meeting you in person. And all right, I'm going to challenge all of you social media geeks out there. You're out there. I know you're there. I see you sitting over there in the corner. Look, you're a social media geek. I want you to go to Twitter. I want you to go to Facebook. and I want you to like the AAFU Nation Twitter. And if you're not already liking Student of the Gun Twitter, then
you can't like Twitter.
Yeah, well, whatever.
You have to follow Twitter.
Follow it. Don't correct me. Don't correct me. Just like it, face it, tweet it, whatever you have to do. Because, all right, here's the deal. Right now I'm looking at the AAFU Twitter, and it's got like 14 followers or something like that.
This is the very first announcement. So
okay, well, by Monday when I go on there better be 200, or there's going to be hell to pay, and that's the end of that story.
There you go. Hell to pay from Professor Paul Markle. Nobody wants that.
That's right. You don't want that.
All right, Jeremy, thank you for coming on and talking about the AAFU project, and we look forward to seeing you at NRA.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much to Jeremy. That's one of our fans, a student, not so much a fan, but a student. He is a student of the gun, and he's going to make the AAFU available to you guys, so go team. Before we get moving on to the next story, and this is one that's really got me like breaking out the duct tape more than usual, we want to make sure that we thank our good friends at XS Sights, the fastest sights in any light, and to congratulate them on Tuesday, March 17th, we didn't really mention it because, quite frankly, this week has been like a whirlwind. But Battlefield Hardline came out. It was released on Tuesday, and that includes the XS Sights, XS Big Dot Sights. Jared's looking at his watch. He's like, crap, did that already happen?
Holy crap, it did.
Yeah, that already happened. And also...
Actually, yeah, I do have a wristwatch on it.
Yeah,
I didn't look at my phone.
He looked at his wristwatch.
Yeah.
Does it have the date on it?
It does.
Wow,
it says 1/8/19. It says 1/9.
Is that a Fossil Tactical?
Yeah.
That's a Fossil
It's
Tactical.
I can beat you over the head with it if I need to.
I've got a Fossil Tactical watch on. And, all right, so XS Sights, fast sights in any light, and Jared is going to tell you, do you want to wait to tell him what's new with the Good Guy program?
Let me get my ducks in a row real quick.
Okay.
I got to get the number popped up here.
Okay. And SWAT Fuel, SWAT Fuel's special weapons and tactics for the body. And if you guys follow us on Facebook and social media and what have you, Jared's been putting together some additional information, some additional stuff about SWAT Fuel with Dr. Dan and what have you, and fitness and all that jazz. If you right now, if you want to make a purchase on SWATfuel.com, you can go to their website, SWATfuel.com, and use the promo code SOTG2015. And as you hear the sound of my voice, that will get you 20% off your total order. So go to SWATfuel.com, check them out. And if you want a sample, Jared decided that he was going to go ahead and make the SWAT Fuel plus 9mm plus B, the single dose sample packs available. So those are actually up on our store right now. So if you're thinking, well,
we're the only place you can get them.
Yeah, if you're thinking, well, I don't know, I'm not going to invest in a whole bottle. I mean, I don't trust Paul. I don't trust Jared. I don't know why you don't, but shame on you. But if you're one of those guys or gals, you can go on and next time you buy a T-shirt or a book or a DVD or whatever, just go ahead and add one of those to your order, and then you can try it out. How cool is that? All right, do you want to talk about the new XS Sights thing, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, well, I'll talk about it right now.
Okay, take it
popped
over.
Up. I couldn't remember the number that I assigned to it, but we're going to change the way we do the XS Good Guy, the submissions for that, because I want to be able to play the questions on air. I want you to be able to hear your voice on the radio show. So I have a call-in number, and I'm going to choose from all the questions that are asked at this call-in number first. And basically it's going to send you to a voicemail box, and you leave your question in the box. So if the question is 97,000 paragraphs long, I'm going to put that at the bottom. So I need you to rehearse your question before you say it, because I'm not going to edit these.
Clear and concise.
Yes, clear and concise. So I want you to call in to, it's 682-207-SOTG. That's 682-207-7684. Leave us a voicemail, and then that way I can play it on the radio show. I don't have to read anything anymore. I can just play it. How awesome is that?
That's pretty awesome. And if they do that, and they're that, then they will be the
good guy or the good girl
of the week.
Yes. And what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to choose from the voicemails first, and then if there aren't any clear and concise questions in the voicemail, then I'll move on to the forum. That's just forums.studentofthegun.com.
Sounds good to me. All right, so there's your marching order. Is that going to begin this coming Monday?
Yep. So today's Thursday. I need you guys to go ahead and start calling in to 682-207-7684 and leaving some questions.
All right. Remember, clear and concise.
Yes, and leave your name, obviously.
Yeah.
And, your name, and that way when I pick you, I can call you by name and tell you what you need to do to get me your info.
Right. Well, it's the basic thing. Alex, that student of the gun.
Right, yeah. But they won't know they're a winner until I announce their
That's
name.
right.
And if I don't know your name, then you can't be a winner.
That's right. Okay, well, they will hear themselves. All right, moving on. Folks, if you don't believe that we're in a serious hardcore propaganda battle, this is a crazy thing. This is insane. Am I allowed to say crazy insane? Yes, I am, because I'm a man and I'm an American and I can say what I want and I can do what I want. Folks, this about a half a dozen of you, and thank you very much, about a half a dozen of you guys out there shared this story with us via Facebook, via email, via text, and so forth. Apparently, the hippie liberal scumbags at I want to see who funded this. The story it's been posted a couple of different places, but the link we've got is from Breitbart.com. And the title is Gun Control Group Sets Up Fake Store to Shame First-Time Gun Buyers. And you're like, what? Yes. The story is by AWR Hawkins, and it was posted on 17 March 2015. Okay, here we go. It says, in an effort, and this is all these anti-gun groups that paint themselves as reasonable, like every American for gun sense, or every American town for gun safety. And well, how could you be against that? They just want gun safety. Oh, here, this is a new group, and it's got to be funded. There's no way it's not funded by Nanny Bloomberg and his fellow scumbags. It says, an effort to prove once and for all that owning guns puts Americans in danger. The new group, States United to Prevent Gun Violence. What a load of horse crap. Set up a fake gun store. Where? Where did they set it up? They set it up in Montana. They set it up in North Carolina and Mississippi. No, in New York City. Right. Fake gun store, and shamed first-time gun buyers for going into foregoing their business or their purchase. It says they shamed first-time gun buyers into foregoing their purchase. So here's what they did. Excuse me. They did this by offering models of guns for sale that had been used in high-profile crimes or gun accidents or negligent shootings. For instance, a female buyer comes in, walks into the store, and she says that she's looking for a gun. They ask her, and the guy asks her, "Well, what are you looking for? Do you want to do target shooting or what?" And she says, "No, for protection." And he says, "Oh, well, you might be interested in this one." Here's what he says. He pulls out a Colt single-action revolver. Now, it might not have been a Colt, but it was like a single-action Army clone. And he says, "This is a 6-inch 22, yada, yada, yada. And it's real easy to use and operate and blah, blah, blah." And I'm thinking, okay, it's a single-action. What is this dude talking about? And I'm looking at it as he's holding it, and it has a great big hole in the barrel, like a .45 caliber size hole. And he says it's a 22. Well, to my eyes, a 22 is a little tiny hole, and a .45 is a great big hole. But he goes, "Yeah, this gun right here is a popular one." He goes, "This is the gun that a 5-year-old found in his parents' bedroom and went downstairs and shot his 9-month-old baby brother with it." And she's like, "Oh my God." And then another customer says that they want a 9mm semi-automatic. And then the dude says, "Well, this is a very handy gun. It's easy to use." And then he says, "It's a great gun to carry in your purse, like the gal from Walmart who let her 2-year-old son reach into her pocketbook, and then he shot her with it." And you're like, what kind of sick and twisted propaganda is this? And you guys want to know something really sick, twisted, and hypocritical? Well, besides the fact that if you look at the picture, you see that they set up this fake gun store, right? And on the back wall behind the dude, There are several. You see the picture there, Jared? There's several firearms that look to be stoner based, like AR-15, M4 style. There's a pump action shotgun with a pistol grip. There is an Uzi, a short barreled Uzi. You see that?
Yeah. There's also an American flag, which should not be.
There's a bunch of SKSs. Hey, riddle me this, Batman. If you're in New York City, are you allowed to purchase an M4 or an AR-15 or an Uzi? I'm serious, a freaking Uzi? You can buy those in New York now? Pretty sure you can't. But what do I know? Well, the dude that they get to play the gun store owner is an actor. Yes, they hired an actor to play the gun store owner. And the actor, his name is Ned Luke, Nedluke. And it was actually one of you folks out there that pointed this out first. We shared the story, and somebody jumped all over it. And you're like, Ned Luke, I don't know that name. Why would I know that name? Well, it turns out one of Ned Luke's big claims to fame was that he was one of the lead actors in a video game called Grand Theft Auto. Paul, you mean Grand Theft Auto, the NC-17 game where people play a game where they run around stealing cars and shooting people and robbing them? You know, is that the same one? Yeah, that's the exact same one. So in another case of Hollywood hypocrisy, we've got a guy who makes his living promoting, quote unquote, gun violence. He gets paid to promote gun violence in Grand Theft Auto. I don't have a problem with Grand Theft Auto. If you're an adult and you want to play it, go crazy. But isn't it the same puke-faced scumbag hippie liberals that tell us, oh, well, you remember our buddy Leland Yee?
Yeah.
Leland Yee, the arms trafficker?
Yep.
Who was dead set against. As a matter of fact, when Leland Yee when he had that
Grand Theft Auto was in there.
That handful of video games that needed to be banned because they promote gun violence. Grand Theft Auto was one of them.
Grand Theft Auto is where you can shoot dead call girls in that game.
Oh my God! You killed a hooker. Call girls. No, Cyril. When they're dead, they're just hookers.
I'm sorry, I used the wrong phrasing.
Yeah, that's right. When they're
phrasing,
dead, phrasing. When they're dead, they're just hookers. Okay, so we got a guy. So, dudes, is that not the sweetest hypocrisy? I'm gonna shame you people who want to buy guns. I'm gonna shame you into not doing it. But I'm going to go right back, and I'm going to use guns and gun violence. It's no different than that Liam Neeson puke-faced scumbag who gets on his high horse and, and I know we didn't talk about it that much, but promoting, says that the Charlie Hebdo shootings were because Americans have too many guns. Yep, that's it exactly. So, folks, we're going to put this in the show notes. We don't have time. There's a long video. You guys can dissect it all you want. It's disgusting. It's twisted. And what you need to understand is there is an absolute, well-funded, deliberate effort on the part of the left to convince the great unwashed masses that guns and gun owners are bad. That only a crazy person or a psycho or someone who's delusional would want to own a gun. And you need to be, you may think that guns will make you safer, but you're wrong. They're not. Oh, dude, that Uzi, it looks to me like it's a short-barreled rifle. It's got a retractable stock and a short barrel. So I feel relatively certain that you can't sell a short-barreled Uzi over the counter in New York City. I don't know. And a lot of you folks have pointed out, you're like, okay, did they actually sell a gun? Did anyone actually say, well, I don't care about your propaganda, I want to buy a gun from you? Did they actually sell one? Or did they turn away all their buyers? Well, probably they had. Did they actually secure an FFL? And do you have to have an FFL to fake sell guns? So if you set up a gun store or a store that claims to sell firearms, do you have to have an FFL? Or were all of these guns fake guns? Were they all Hollywood replicas? I would say that they're probably that every gun in the cases here, and the guy's like, oh, this gun was used to do this, and the one with the little kid where he said the little kid shot his brother, and the guy's like, that exact gun. He goes, yeah, the exact gun. Really? So you like have in your little case there, you have the evidence of crimes or the exhibits from. Really? Okay. If you
that would be like you going to a car lot, and when they sell you the truck, they're like, "Oh, this was used to kill 396 people last year."
Oh yeah, this. Do you know how this
Chevy Silverado here? It 390 whatever, however many people I said
people
died from this truck.
In this truck,
this truck killed that many people.
Look, but was somebody driving the truck, or did the truck kill him? No, the truck killed him. That's right. If it's SUVs have been known to kill people on their own.
If you're an actor, you can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
people will still give you money.
Oh, and that's the thing is, apparently this dude is defending. He's like, oh, it was just a job. Oh, really? No, it's called propaganda. It's called lies. It's called, and you're not playing a movie here. This is propaganda, folks. If you guys want to go, make sure that you go to studentofthegunradio.com to check out all the show links. All right, moving on. We got something.
Man, this is episode 140 already.
Yeah, it is 140. All right, then the next segment is going to be brought to you by Velocity Triggers, designed for precision. If you got a black rifle, they've got a trigger for you. Go to velocitytriggers.com and check those guys out. Brownells, brownells.com. Whether you have a gun, whether you don't have a gun, brownells.com has something for you. Check those guys out as well. And if you want to check out either Excess, SWAT Fuel, Velocity Triggers, Brownell, go to their social media sites and give them a like.
And we're going to move into the next update now, and it's going to be from the Great White North.
This is more insanity and hypocrisy from Canada, and I'm sorry to have to keep pointing all this out to you, but sweet Buddha on a rubber raft. You guys know, you should know, that one of the missionaries from the Religion of Peace and Brotherhood murdered a soldier in Canada who was standing, an honor guard member who was standing at the National War Memorial.
Yeah, the nation's capital.
It was 5 months ago. And you guys remember the story. They're running around and shooting people and so forth. And he murdered a soldier who was standing as a member of an honor guard. And, of course, we asked at the time, we're like, okay, he didn't have any ammunition in his... They're like, no, of course not. It's just ceremonial. Okay. And then we asked about, are they going to arm them? No. Apparently in Canada, they don't trust their soldiers enough to actually have loaded weapons. This story comes to us from OttawaCitizen.com.
Well, they don't in America either.
Oh, well, yeah. We already know that. But, well, here's, and let me get into it, and then I'll point out the hypocrisy here. DND, that's the Department of National Defense in Canada, asked Ottawa police to guard National War Memorial sentries. Yes, you heard that right. So the Department of Defense, of National Defense in Canada, is asking the Ottawa Police Department if they'll provide armed guards to protect their soldiers who are standing at the memorial. The soldiers who are standing at the memorial holding rifles.
Well, the police officers, that's going to be like a voluntary thing, right? Like they'll be volunteering their time.
Well, no, they're going to get paid.
They're going to? Whoa, that's.
It says they're looking for paid volunteers. That it won't be a forced duty.
So on top of the craziness of that even being thought of, that a police officer needs to protect a soldier,
and they said, well, the decision was made to make sure that the rifles, the ceremonial rifles that are used by the honor guard, are always unloaded, because someone might. This is the thing. Someone might. What did they say? Tackle grapple. That someone might maybe they said wrest the weapon away from the soldier. And they can't risk that.
Yeah, wrest. W-R-E-S-T.
Yeah, they might wrest it away. Dude, I'm looking at a picture of one of the guys here. He's got a bayonet on it.
Oh, wow. So they're
He's got
afraid.
a rifle with a bayonet on it.
Their soldiers are so...
And I'm guessing that if to be, in the United States of America, to be chosen for the honor guard, you got to be pretty tight. I mean, you got to be pretty sharp. They don't just pick the slugs to be a member of the honor guard. That is it's actually a prestigious, it's an honor. It's a prestigious position to be chosen to be a member of the honor guard. These aren't slugs. And so you're saying that, like, the best of the best can't defend themselves against punks or crackheads or thugs? Well,
what happens if these thugs wrest the weapons from the police officers? If they can take them from the soldiers, then why can't they take them from the police officers?
Oh, no. Well, the police officers only have pistols, and the pistols aren't as dangerous as rifles. Dude, this is so insane. And you say, well, do our guys at Arlington have them? I said, and my question, or my answer to you is, I don't know. Do they? Do they? But what did not happen at Arlington? Let's take a look at some facts. The fact is that we had one of the many missionaries, and this was a week where they had 2 attacks in 1 week by Muslim missionaries. 2 Muslim missionaries, in 2 separate attacks, killed police officers and or soldiers in Canada in a 1 week time period. So we know that we have a problem in Canada. We know that there are Muslim missionaries who have sworn to attack and murder members of the state, representatives of the country. Understanding that threat exists, your answer is, well, we need to have police officers guard the unarmed soldiers. I got an idea. Why don't you just give the soldiers ammunition? Do the soldiers know how to work the guns? Do they know how to shoot the guns? Well, I don't even know what to say. It's so weak. It's so weak. I'm sad. I'm sad for you in Canada. And you know what? I would venture to say that the soldiers at Arlington probably have empty rifles. And if one of those people get killed, then they'll probably do the same thing.
I cannot begin to comprehend
the thought process. Like, well, we know that we've got terrorists in our country who actually went on TV, who did a Skype interview, who said, we have brothers, inshallah, who are going to be... That little Johnny Jihad puke face did a Skype interview with the guy in New York, and he said, this is what we're going to do. We have brothers in Toronto, we have brothers in New York, we have brothers in blah, 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 and they're going to attack you. And then a few weeks later, we started having these attacks. And they're like, oh, that's a totally separate incident. That's, what is that? That's just one unique, isolated incident. Yeah, that's it. That's just, well, all right, it's like 1,000 isolated incidents, but there's no pattern of behavior here. Just because Muslim missionaries, said we're going to attack you in Canada, in New York, and then they did that. Just because that actually happened doesn't mean it's real, apparently, in psycho world where we live today.
Speaking of Muslim missionaries, let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
Are you going
die Oma des letzten Propheten Mohammed sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ich bin Allah so dankbar, ein Muslim sein zu dürfen. Das geht an die Oma. Wir sind die Oma.
So we have more representatives of the religion of peace, love, and brotherhood. And what's really sick is that there are women. I don't know if you can call them women. I would guess that you would call them, well, they're slaves. There is goat rapist slaves or enablers. And you probably have heard this by now, but we're just going to touch on it real quick. Muslim students at the University of Missouri are protesting an upcoming campus screening of American Sniper and demanding to have the film debut canceled. I'm sorry, Did I just hear demanding? Is that what that said, Jared? Maybe I've got some stupid in my ears and I need to shake it out.
Dude,
they're demanding? Who in the...
demanded an apology and explanation as to how and why the movie was even selected for Mizzou audiences. How about, because this is America,
and if you
don't like it, go back to your own country.
GTFO. Can I say GTFO? Yeah, I can say GTFO.
Like you're here enjoying our freedoms that are given to us by this exact kind of person.
Protected, yeah. No. If this
yeah,
doesn't make
they're
you
protected.
angry.
They're not given to us, but they're protected by the American Sniper-esque people. But you're going to get mad.
Muslim student activist started the campus controversy when a Muslim student activist, a goat rapist slave. Let's call them what they are, slaves to goat rapists. You know what that's like, Jared? It's like tying the noose that's going to hang you. That's like forging your own chains. Blah 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 blah. She declared. Now we're declaring. We're not only demanding, we're declaring that the film would make her feel, quote, unsafe.
Why?
Oh, why?
Why would that make you feel unsafe?
Unless you're a terrorist or a terrorist sympathizer, why would you be unsafe? Why would you feel unsafe? Or maybe it's because you know that your goat rapist buddies are wrong. No.
They have quotes.
Oh, go ahead and give the quotes.
I want to. This next paragraph here says the resulting uproar was taken quite seriously and even prompted the entire student government to conduct a meeting. Blah blah blah. So one person, a Muslim student activist, started the campus controversy. That's one. So they let one person do this. But anyway, so let's get to the quote here. It says, "This film is blatant racist, colonialist propaganda that should not be shown under any circumstances." So, here we go. "And especially not endorsed by a branch of student government that purports to represent me and have my best interests in mind."
Said Farah, goat rapist slave.
She denounced the decision to show the blockbuster, the highest grossing film of 2014. Accused the movie of dehumanizing Muslims and glorifying the murder of Iraqis, and referred to Chris Kyle, the Navy SEALs featured in the film, as a killer with no regard for human life.
Yeah, because your goat rapist buddies who lock people in cages and set them on fire, who kidnap American and Western journalists and cut their heads off with dull knives in front of video cameras, because those people really have a lot of regard for human life.
She hasn't even watched the movie.
Are you kidding? Yeah,
obviously.
Oh no, she couldn't possibly have watched the movie. And you know what? I don't give a one flying fart about what this person has to say. You don't like it? Get on a plane and GTFO.
Well, let me break down this quote here that she said. She's accused the movie of dehumanizing Muslims. So is she agreeing that all Muslims have the views of the terrorists that are being killed in this movie?
The movie dehumanizes Muslims? You mean the same religion of peace and brotherhood that stones women to death for the crime of being raped? That same one? The same religion of peace and brotherhood that takes homosexuals and throws them off of buildings? Oh, but they didn't die from the fall, so they beat them to death on the ground. That same exact death cult, that same death cult, the same death cult that goes into churches and murders Christians in churches because they failed to conform. The same representatives of the death cult that are standing at a bus stop in Detroit and ask their fellow bus travelers whether or not they believe in Islam, and when they say no, they attack them and stab them. The same exact Muslim missionaries that ask their co-workers in Oklahoma if they're willing to convert, and when they say no, attack them and cut an office worker's head off, a woman, with a knife. The same ones.
All real life examples that happen.
Yeah, those are all real life. So tell me again how we don't represent or we don't regard human life. You scumbag, you piece of human filth. Americans, stop putting up with it. Stop putting up with it. I'm not putting up with it anymore. FOAD. Right?
Wow.
Rock on?
Yeah, FOAD. And one more quote. Do we have time for one more?
We got one more, and then we got to get going.
Yeah, it says, I do not feel safe on this campus, and for good reason.
You know what? Go to Libya.
The fact that this film is being shown, the fact that I have to explain why this film is not only problematic but harmful makes me feel even more unsafe. Don't care. Showing this film will create an even more hostile environment for me and other Arab, Muslim, South Asian, and people of color on this campus.
Yeah.
I would say that...
Get on a plane and go to Syria. Go to Iran.
You're here enjoying the freedoms that we offered you, and you're gonna...
So in her home country, is she allowed to stand up in public and make demands?
But they can limit what people watch. So maybe that's what she's
in her
used to.
home country. Can she stand up on a public? Didn't we just show what do they do in Syria when they catch a woman wearing a coat with red sleeves? They denounce her as a harlot on the street and put a bullet in her head in front of everybody else. Yeah, tell me more about human rights, you piece of filth. I'm done. I'm all done. I can't take any more of this goat rapist nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We're way long. That's what she said. For another episode of Student of the Gun Radio, I am your host, Professor Paul Markle, coming to you from the Glass Case of Emotion Studios. And the other kid over there on the other side that's Jared. And for those of you that are grad program members, we've got a treat for you tomorrow. We've got the real Triple B. We're going to talk. He's an attorney, Bob, an attorney. He's a constitutional rights defender, and we're going to talk all about rights tomorrow on the bonus hour, and you're in the grad program. If you're not a grad program member, we will talk to you on Monday. Until then, remember, you're a beginner once, but you should indeed be a student for life.